In this 75 hard vlog, I'm going to teach you 5 life lessons that I think every single person should get to know sooner rather than later. I'm out on one of my workouts for today, going for a little 7 to 8k recovery run, and rather than just, walking you through nutrition and training and all that again, we're going to go down the mindset and mental health route again in this one, because it's something that I feel is very, very important to discuss. So point number 1 is that your mental health and your physical health both should come before absolutely anything else. Now, in this day and age with social media, with the pressures of life, feeling like you have to be further ahead than you potentially are right now, that leaves a lot of pressure on people. And with those pressures, it leaves a lot of people to neglect those two things, their physical and mental health, because of things like money, for example, status, a partner, all these things. We put those first, and then we neglect our physical and mental health because we think that those things are the most important. They need to be put first, because if we don't have this amount of followers, if we don't have this amount of money, if we don't have the best looking partner in the world, all of this stuff, at the end of the day, if you don't have some of those things at the cost of your physical and mental health, then what does it matter? Because if you're trying to get the fanciest car in the world or the most money in the world, but you're not in your best physical health and your mental health is really suffering as a result, then it doesn't matter, and you need to learn that quickly. Because I've seen the two ends of the spectrum. I've seen how much physical health can affect you in a negative way, and I've seen how much mental health can affect you in a negative way. And trust me, if those two things are not under control, then it doesn't matter about the other things I mentioned previously. So the first life lesson is always put that first. Always put that first, trust me, and the other stuff, that will follow. Because what's a life full of status, money, following, whatever? What's a life filled with that, but at the cost of your own physical health, at the cost of your own mental capabilities and how you think and feel on a day-to-day basis? Always remember that. So the first life lesson is make sure that you look after your physical and mental health before absolutely anything else. Then the next lesson that I want you to learn is stop caring what other people think. Now, as humans, that is the one thing that we always think about. I'm not going to post this because I don't know what so-and-so is going to think. I'm not going to start this business because I don't know what so-and-so is going to think. I'm not going to make that comment or make a move to that person because, I don't know what they're going to think. Listen, life is way too short for you to think about what other people think. Only think about how this is going to impact you. You need to stop worrying how others are going to perceive you for doing something that's beneficial to you, and more often than not, beneficial to the other person or to the world. And if the decision that you're holding back or scared of what other people think is something that is negative and is not going to impact the world in a positive way, then okay, that thought is fair. But if you know what you're going to do is going to have a positive impact on yourself and others around you, then what do you care what other people think? It was like when I first started social media, and the information, the nutritional, the mindset, the physical information that I was going to put out there, I was holding myself back from, because I thought, someone's going to think that's cringe. Oh no, what's so-and-so going to think of that? What does it even matter? It doesn't. And that's the thing you need to realise sooner rather than later, because those decisions you're putting off that could positively impact your life and change the course of your life for the better, and you doing something that you genuinely are passionate about, is being held back because of what someone else thinks. Think about that for a second. Is it really worth it? And what you have to remember is that people have so much going on in their own lives that they are not going to care about your 60-second reel or about your new business more than you are, and more than it's going to benefit you. So stop thinking what other people are going to think, because they might see it for a second and then they'll forget about it because something in their own life, their mortgage, their partner, something they've got to deal with comes up. So don't let what other people think about you, or what other people think about what you're going to post or what you're going to do with your life, hold you back from going for it. Because at the end of the day, people have too much going on, and if they do see it, okay, cool, they're probably not going to say it to your face, and the benefits that you'll get are way bigger than the thoughts that someone else has of you. So remember that, please, and stop letting other people's opinions impact your own life. The third lesson is don't let fear impact how your life is going to turn out. the fear to start something new, the fear to do something that you haven't done before, the fear to, invest in someone to get you to a better position than you are right now. That fear is the thing that's got you to the place where you are now. So if the position you're in right now is something that you don't like, whether it's physically, financially, in a relationship, if that position is something that you don't like, the only thing that's keeping you there is the fear to do something different. And remember, insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. If you keep doing the same thing that's got you to where you are now, how can you expect to change that position? And the only thing that's stopping you from doing something different is the fear of the new result that you're going to get. But what if that new result that you're going to get is a better version of yourself, physically, financially, mentally, a better relationship for you, a better job for you? What if on the other side of that fear is one of those results? What is there to be fearful of? Fear is something that stopped me in my own journey from doing loads of things that I could have benefited from earlier and still can do. And fear is the only thing that keeps humans in the same position that they don't like. So remember, don't let fear stop you from doing something different that is going to benefit you, because the benefits way outweigh that fear that you're feeling right now. Remember, feel the fear and do it anyway. That's one thing. And the third lesson that you need to learn sooner rather than later. The fourth lesson is that you become who and what you surround yourself with. Now, what do I mean by that? Obviously, who is that famous saying, you are the sum of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. And that is so true. When I've surrounded myself with winners and with people who lift me up, I feel my best. When I'm surrounded by someone or people who ain't really on the same path as me, don't really do the same things as me, or someone who's just genuinely not in the best place, my mental health, my physical health, because I make decisions around food, around training, suffers because I'm not surrounded by people who are lifting me up and pushing me on to do good things for me, both physically, mentally and career-wise and things like that. And what I mean by what is what you surround yourself with. In this day and age where you can so easily get things, instant gratification, surrounding yourself as in, social media. What do you have on your For You page? Is it things that are going to be beneficial? Because there are beneficial pages out there. Is it stuff like that? Or is it that when you open up your social media, all it's filled with is, fancy cars, fancy watches, people that you would dream of being like, who half of it isn't even real? Is it, negative news pages? Is it things like that that are gonna, just suck the energy from you? That's something that you surround yourself with in terms of a what. Again, something else you surround yourself with. Another thing that you surround yourself with in terms of the what is the types of food and things that you're consuming, in your house. Are you, surrounded by junk food and food that's not going to actually fuel you? That's one thing that you need to consider, because if you're surrounded by stuff like that, then that's not going to fuel you, mate. And you need to surround yourself with the right type of food and nutrition. And then another thing is obviously your environment. Like what type of books are you surrounded by? Is it all, like things that are just going to, again, drain the energy for you? Or is it things that you're going to learn from? What type of TV things do you watch? What type of, stuff are you actually consuming? That's what I mean by the what. The who and the what are things that you surround yourself with and consume massively dictates how your life is going to play out. And the fifth and final life lesson, and the most important one, is life is too short. And I'll say that again. Life is way too short. Tomorrow is never promised. And recent events and stuff that's gone on, I've become, again, reminded myself of that. Life is way too short for you to be doing things that you don't enjoy, for you to be surrounded by people and environments that, again, don't lift you up, you don't enjoy. And the main thing I want you to take is that, yes, life is too short, but what are you going to do with it? Because it's all good and well you listening potentially to these 5 life lessons, but then how are you going to react to that? Because, like I said, the last final point is so important. Life is way too short, so it's about doing things now that you're going to enjoy and you're not going to regret. You're not going to let fear hold you back. You're going to surround yourself with people who lift you up, and you're just going to do things that make your life worthwhile, enjoyable, and that you don't, go through life, however long it may be, whether it's 20 years, whether it's 50 years, 60 years, 80 years, that period that you're on this planet, you think, you know what, I've made the most of that. I didn't hold back. I didn't, hold back from speaking to someone that I liked. I didn't hold back from starting that business that I thought was scary, but I still did it anyway. I didn't hold back from, that my physical changes that I wanted to do. I didn't stop myself from doing that. Like, life is way too short for you to, live it in second gear 24/7. You only get one shot at this. Everyone's on their first go round. Remember that. Every single person on this earth is on their first go round. No one has a clue what they're doing half the time. But the ones that don't let fear consume them and remember that life is too short and they live it and they enjoy it, those are the ones who are going to have the most happy and fulfilled life. And that doesn't mean they're going to become millionaires or billionaires. It doesn't mean they're going to have the best partner in the world, but they're happy with whatever they have and with whatever they got. And that's what the meaning of life too short is. And those are the 5 life lessons that I want to give you today. There's plenty more things that you probably heard, but those 5 things really stuck in my head today, and I'm going to leave it there. But I want you to remember, lastly, that it's okay to not be okay. Speak up, speak to people, friends, family, anyone you trust. Make sure that you reach out to people and don't just let your feelings and emotions just stay in your head. Get them out, speak it, and there'll be people to support you. I promise you that. I will see you tomorrow. I'm not sure what I'm going to be posting on the vlog tomorrow, but yeah, I'll see you there.